Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Monday 18th of October 2021. Let's take a look at the Forex calendar at the beginning of the trading week. Bunch of data from China straight on, including the real GDP. As you can see, the GDP is way lower than the last quarter. For the last quarter, 0.2%, which is worse than expected. 0.5%, and it's worse than the previous reading of 1.2%. The real GDP year to date is 9.8%, which is again worse than expected number of 10.1% and worse than previous reading of 12.7%. Fixed asset investment is worse again, 7.3% versus 7.9% expected and 8.9% for the last month. Industrial production is worse than expected, but the unemployment rate is lower, 4.9% versus 5.1% expected figure. So, bunch of data from China, very interesting to digest by the market participants. So, London session is non-existing because there is no data from the London session, but we got some data from the during the New York session. Data from Canada in form of the housing starts are scheduled for release quarter past 2. Virgin purchases securities are scheduled for release 2 as well. So what do we have here? Bunch of data from the US, industrial production quarter past 3, and capacity utilization, manufacturing production. Plenty of data from the US economy. At 4:30, there is the overview of business prospect according to the Bank of Canada for the third quarter, scheduled for release as well. Then we have a speech from Bank of Canada Deputy Governor Timothy Lane, 6 o'clock, and then some minor data from the US economy. So I think we are going to start with the US dollar to the Canadian dollar for the beginning, to see what is going on there ahead of the data and the Bank of Canada news release. So let's take a look at this situation here. 61% at 1.2369 hit. So we now can only bounce higher or just leave it like it is. So please notice this situation here on a daily time frame chart of the US dollar to the Canadian dollar. This drop might be even bigger than previous two. Let's just take a look how big in percentage is the recent drop. As you can see, it's way bigger, 4.30%, which means that this move here is a different cycle. It's not the up cycle. This is definitely different cycle. Let's do something else. Let's do another target. Let's find the Fibonacci cluster for this market, because it looks like we might have ABC correction here. So let's just put the ABC correction labels on the screen to see what I mean. That was the wave beginning, that was the wave A, that was the top for the wave B, and possibly we are having wave C bottom somewhere there. And let's see if there's any sort of a Fibonacci based extension or the projection here to be playing out with the ABC relationships. 127% is at 1.2329, so that's like a 40 pips lower. 100% A equal to wave C had been violated, so we are no longer interested in this one. So one is going out. 1.27 is somewhere here. Well, that's the zone that might work as a target zone for the wave C. So please keep an eye on this zone on the US dollar to the Canadian dollar. Just below we have the technical support 1.2301, and then the key technical support 1.2244. Of course, for the market participants that are bullish, if they want to resume the up move, they have to break above the lows of the wave A, 1.2940, and currently, unfortunately, above this low here, the low of the end of the July 2021, which is at 1.2422. So this is the eventually next this is the next technical resistance, the nearest apparently technical resistance for the bulls. So this is how it looks like for US dollar to the Canadian dollar. Let's take a look at gold after the news from China had been released. As you can see, our line, our trend line works perfectly. We hit the line. We got this kind of a pin bar here. Let me just zoom in. We got this pin bar here, and then of course rejection of the possible breakout above this trend line. So we have of course moved lower below 1780, below 1760. So please notice the fact that of course we are out of this channel, so we don't need it anymore. The channel is out, and now of course we can come back towards the 1760, 1741, which is the next technical support. There is one technical support more, 1720. So this is the low of the end of the September 2021. We should be waiting for a down move on gold towards one of those two supports, but deeper move towards 61% of the Fibonacci retracement, or towards the demand zone located between 1658 1677 is still possible as well. So please keep an eye on the gold market. It looks like we are still under the control of bears. Because of the Chinese data, let's take a look at the Australian dollar. What is going on here? There wasn't much reaction yet on the Australian dollar, to be honest. We bounced quite significantly, but we have this old trend line here that once was a challenge for bulls. Then it looks like it's still a challenge for bulls. We got a minor or like a lower high made here, which is always not good for the market participants, especially for bulls, because they want a higher high above the 7,383 level, which is the level of the previous, of course, high at the from the beginning of the September. Nevertheless, we might have a kind of a pin bar formation here, or maybe some kind of an engulfing pattern forming here just above the technical resistance at 7,415. So if this level is rejected, then the next target is 7,371, 7,318. So please keep an eye on this level. Momentum is still strong, momentum is still positive, of course. But it doesn't mean we will break above 7,483. So far it's looking good. We might go higher, but it all depends on how this level will be played out, how this level will be, of course, played by the market participants. A rejection, we're going lower, but any further breakout, we will definitely hit 7,483 dollars. The same situation is on the New Zealand dollar. Let's find out. Very, very similar, and please pay attention to this upper trend line. Of course, we already have a kind of a very, very strong pin bar in form of a doji, or maybe even a shooting star pattern might be formed from this situation. So the level of 7,075, 7,097 pips were both rejected. So we might be looking for lower levels. 6,972, 6,941 are two next technical support targets for the bulls, and the low of end of the September at 6,857 pips is the key technical, short-term technical support for bulls as well. So the situation kind of a similar on the New Zealand dollar here. We are still inside of this channel. Very, very important line is this upper line, because it was rejected. It was recognized by the market participants. It's been played out many times. So any breakout, sustained breakout, of course, above this line will be a game-changing move for the New Zealand dollar. That's everything for me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Bye bye.